Hey, what's up guys, it's Stella from Ather Gaming and I'm back with you guys with a brand new video. But before we get into that guys, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our friends. And so yeah, a big shout out to all of our patrons as well as our Discord members. If you guys want to check them out, be sure to check out the links down below. Down there is also going to be all the other links that you guys might need to contact us. Also guys, be sure to comment down anything that you would personally add to this deck or take away or change, or any of your recommendations for the future. We love to check them out. And without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Alright guys, so to start off with the starter cards of the deck, I played, of course, your triple copies of Overraptor. This card, standard, as long as this card's in the game. I'm going to be playing it at 3, and I'm probably going to be playing Dinos. Even if this card gets to 1, this deck is still playable. Won't be good, but it's still playable. So yeah, this card is literally the heart and soul of the deck. If this card gets banned, the whole deck gets banned, but I don't think that's going to happen. So anyways, yeah, Overraptor, really, really powerful card. Moving on to the new card, Argosaurus. Or sorry, I guess Animadorn Archosaur is what its TCG name is going to be. So what this card does is, I'm pretty sure all you guys know, but for those of you guys who don't, whenever it's summoned, normal or specialed, you can destroy one dinosaur monster in your field or in the hand to add one reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster with the same level as a destroyed monster, or add one evolution pill spell card from your deck to your hand. So, of course, in this deck, you're going to add the evolution pill. But if you want, you could play some other cute little gimmicky tech cards. But, anyways, we're going to get into that later. So, yeah, you play 2 Argosaurs. So, this is your 5 starter cards. You want to see one of these 5 in your opening hand. And, yeah, and going off to, I guess, your combo enablers, I should say. You play 3 copies of Baby as well as 2 copies of your Petit Tyrannon. So, what's so good about these 5 cards is that them comboing off with Argosaurus or with Overraptor, it's just so strong. Like, there's just so many stupid plays that you can do, because these two, the whole idea with Argosaurus is that technically you have to neg a card to get access to pill, but if you destroy Baby, you actually just gain more value out of it. So guys, in the last ban list, diagram ended up going to 1, but that doesn't even matter, because Argosaurus is basically just a searchable diagram that's in a monster that in many cases can just be better than diagram. But yeah. So you played the 3 Baby. Of course, Baby's better than Tyrannon because Baby can bring out your tuner. And then Tyrannon's just here because it's basically more copies of Baby, except the one thing that it has over Baby is that this can bring out your Pankratops. But once again, more on that later. I play 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. You have to play this card at 3 as long as it's at 3. He gives you protection. He's a really strong follow-up play. And he's actually, he's also a free special summon. But another really cool thing with Miscellaneousaurus is that he's another copy of Argosaurus. So technically, yes, you have 2 copies of Argosaurus, but you also have 3 Miscellaneousaurus, which is why personally I don't think that maxing yourself out on Argosaurus is the most efficient way to play the deck, because you already have so many different ways to get to it. You also don't want to open multiples in the same hand. Like, you don't want to open Raptor plus Argosaurus, because then that's 2 really good normal summons, but don't really do anything when they're together. But yeah, so Miscellaneousaurus really good. Then after the other dinos you play, I played 2 copies of Tyranno. Tyranno is literally just the strongest dinosaur monster in the game. This is your big boy boss monster. I was honestly opting to cut this card down to 1 because it's not really as necessary anymore. But I have played games where that second one has come up in the grind game, and you never want to be man, if I had a Tyranno, I would have won the game. You never want to be in that situation. So to make sure you don't fall in that situation, you just play the second Tyranno. Hard drawing the card isn't bad, because if you open full combo plus Tyranno, then you just summon the Tyranno anyways. Off the 1 of dinos now, 1 copy of Giant Rex. This card's free special summon. It's a level 4. It's an Earth. It has a lot of attack. It's so good. Like, this card, even though it's just a 1 of, losing this card or not playing this card is just such a bad idea. And I'm glad that decks don't do that anymore. 1 copy of Overtex. You never actually dump this card off Overraptor anymore, because what decks used to play, if you guys play dinos, literally maybe a year ago, decks didn't actually play Overtex in it. Decks did play Overtex in it, but it wasn't for the reason that you think. A lot of people, the only reason why they play Overtex now is to summon it off a double evolution pill, which is the correct usage of it now. But they used to use it for its second effect, which was when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add an evolution pill. So they used to use Overtex to search your double evolution pill. But now we have Argosaurus, which is just 10 times better than that. So honestly, you could even debate cutting Overtext if you want, but Overtext does actually come up because its effect to summon itself just really helps in the grind, and its effect to, you know, just negate any spell trap also helps a lot. So yeah, so you play that. Pankratops is really good dino. I think it going to 1 kind of hurts, but whatever, you know, like you only would play 1 of it anyways in this build. You know, it's a free pop, it's a free special summon going second. Yeah, there's not really much else I can really say on this. It's really good. You can bring it off Tyrannon. 1 Dogron, it's a searchable kaiju. Why wouldn't you play it? Else really pesky monsters, like any towers like monsters, or any monsters that are just kind of walking floodgates. Cards like Winda, cards like Makaba, cards like, you know, like against the Eldritch matchup, you hit the Golden Lord and you just kind of win. And then the last dino you play is you play 1 Alo. It's basically searchable, and it's so easy to get out. You have so many different ways to get it out. So, you know, you have to play it. It's what enables your needle fiber plays, so yeah, you have to play it. So that's for the dinos, guys. You play total, you play about 20 dinos. And now off of the True Kings, you only play 2 of them. You play 1 copy of Litho and 1 copy of Agnimazod. And honestly, guys, you might even be able to cut Agnimazod and get away with it. Personally, though, I don't like taking that risk. Because this deck doesn't really revolve around the True Kings anymore because of Argosaurus. But yeah, anyways, you just play 1 Litho and 1 Agnimazod. Litho is still really, really powerful because of the babies. And Agnimazod is just here, just another name. But its effect to destroy fires, it can come up sometimes, as well as its secondary effect to non-targeting banish a monster on the field or graveyard. And that effect activates in hand once again, so it's also really good at outing really annoying monsters. So these 2, in my opinion, Litho is mandatory, but Agnimazod, it's up to you guys. I personally like playing it. Now off to the one-off tuners. You play 1 copy of Jet Synchron, 1 copy of O-Line, and 1 copy of Recover. So Jet Synchron and O-Line, I don't think I really have to go into it. O-Line's a free token generator, as well as easy to special out of the deck with the Mech Thunder Beast link. And Jet Synchron is just a generic tuner that can revive itself. But Recover is a card that I haven't really seen many downer decks playing, to my knowledge. Of course, guys, be sure to comment down below any decks that have played it. But it's mainly here because not only is it a recurring tuner, but it also helps make some of the really cool extract monsters that I'm sure that you guys can already see right now. But yeah, like, its little stimulation of how, you know, or I guess stipulation of how your opponent has to have 5 more cards in their extra deck than you do, and paying 2,000 life points. Like, yeah, you know, like having 5 more cards in your extra deck, or your opponent having 5 more cards in the extra deck than you, might seem a little bit, you know, like a little bit rare, honestly. But you can just burn through 5, 6, 7 cards in your extra deck so easily before you even need to bring back the Recover that, like, it honestly doesn't even matter. So yeah, that's why you play the Recover. It's basically just like a bad glow up bulb. So, you know, why not play it? So yeah, guys, that is it for the monsters. It's total 25 monsters. Now off of the spells, starting off with the consistency / dinosaur spells. I played triple copy of Fossil Dig. This card's so strong, you know, it's 3 more copies of every other dinosaur on the deck. You thought you were playing 3 Oviraptor, boom, you're playing 6. You play 2 Argosaurus, boom, you're playing 5. You play 3 Miscellaneum, boom, you're playing 6. You play 5 babies, boom, you're playing 8. Like, it's literally just everything that you could want in your deck. Yeah, it's also not hard on to return, so that's nice. Next, going off into the double evolution pills. You play 2 of them, and you could actually play 1 of them, but that is risking breaking a lot, because if you only play 1 pill and you hard draw it, then you can't use Argosaurus' effect, meaning you miss out on a lot. Playing 2 pills, it's not like you want to draw a pill. No, you play 2 pills just in case you draw 1. You still have 1 more left. Of course, if you draw both pills, then tough, but that's really rare. So yeah, that's why you play that. So that's it for the dinosaur regular spell cards. Off into the field spell cards, 1 diagram and 2 lost worlds. Okay, so diagram, and of course, you know, there's also the 1 terraforming to get access to these. So once again, like I said, diagram isn't really the main focus of this deck, which is why if you guys see, I don't play set rotation, because your field spells aren't like gonna carry you through as they once did, because you have main deck monsters that can do what your field spells did, and in many cases they can do what your field spells did, but better. So yeah, so diagram is really good because it gets you access to your True Kings, and you also have all your babies, which combo off really well with diagram. So yeah, I don't really think I have to go into diagram anymore. Lost World is such a powerful card. I was honestly debating putting Lost World up to 3, but I had some consistency issues with that, so I just put it back down to 2. Really powerful card. Lost World plus Oviraptor can end you on some insane boards. So yeah, And so that's for the field spells. Now off to the other spells. You play 3 copies of Call by the Grave. If you're playing a combo deck, you want your combos to go through. Most of the time, your combos will go through, even if they open a hand trap, because you have cards like Call by the Grave, cards like Miscellaneous Source to protect you. Once I've even been Nibiru'd and Impermanence and still was able to end on a Calamity. So, and I didn't even open Call by the Grave. So that should just show you the power of the deck. Then, you know, there's 3 Lightning Storm. Guys, I know Lightning Storm is a bit pricey right now. So if you guys, you know, I mean, a lot of people are just playing online anyway. So if you're playing online, play Lightning Storm. But if you guys don't want to play Lightning Storm for whatever reason, then playing cards like Evenly Matched or cards like, I don't know, cards like Lightning Storm. These cards are really, really powerful in the metagame. So, I mean, yeah, of course, you know, cards like Dark Ruler are also the other one that you could sub out. And in many cases, I felt that Dark Ruler might be the correct option. But Lightning Storm being able to hit monsters as well as spells and traps, I think is really powerful. Then the last 2 one-ofs, you play 1 copy of 1-for-1. This is another copy of your Argosaurus, but it's also another copy of your Recover and your Jet Synchron, like assuming your hand's pretty subpar. And then the last card you play is 1 copy of Foolish Burial. You could cut this card if you want, but Foolish Burial, your main target is going to be Miscellaneous Saurus to get out Argosaurus. Once again, you can also send your tuners, which can all, you know, generate advantage from the graveyard. So yeah, they are really good. You can send Foolish Burial to send a Giant Rex if you have a double evolution pill that you want to activate. Like, there's a lot of good targets for the deck, and that's why you play it. So yeah, so that's for the main deck, guys. Total 42 cards, 25 monsters, and 17 spells. And yeah, let's get off into the extra deck. So starting off with the level 3 Synchro, just 1 copy of Martial Metal Marcher. This card is very, very powerful. I feel like you make this card every single time you go first because it's just free. You can make it so easily with some of the other cards in your extra deck, and it just revives the tuner, so it's a monster reborn. I didn't have room for a Formula Synchron in this deck, but if you guys find a card that you don't think is worth playing, then of course you can incorporate the Formula Synchron. So yeah, so that's it for the level 3 tuner. Sorry, level 3 Synchro. And then for the level 4 Synchro is 1 copy of Arclight. This card is also very, very easy to make. There are many instances where, like, I try to play things slowly, and even if I've been through, you know, like, past the point of my opponent can Nibiru me, I still go for the Arclight play, just in case my opponent has that hand trap, or if my opponent is getting a little greedy with the Nibiru. So, yeah, Arclight's also really good. It's also a walking floodgate. Like, this card just really, really just beats Eldritch, because they can't activate Eldritch Golden Lord's effect in hand to send itself to the graveyard, because Arclight would stop that. It also has an Omni Negate, which is very strong. Then 1 copy of Coral Dragon. This card is just here because, you know, I'm sure that you guys all know the combo by now. But Coral Dragon, as well as one of the following cards you'll see in the extra deck, help make VFD. So, yeah. 1 copy of Nat Beast. This is the card I was talking about earlier of why Recover is so good and why Giant Rex plus Recover can get you to your Nat Beast very easily. So, yeah, that's why you play Nat Beast. It's just easy spell negation. There aren't many decks actually in the game that revolve around spells. So Nat Beast, of course, it's not as powerful as what it once was. It's still really strong though. Then 1 copy of Garden Rose Maiden. This is the card that you make before you go into Coral Dragon most of the time, because what Garden Rose Maiden reads, if you guys don't know, is it's a original effect is when it's special summon, you can add a Black Garden from your deck or graveyard to your hand. But you don't play Black Garden, you know, that's an irrelevant effect. The real effect is its second effect, where you can banish this card from your graveyard and target 1 Dragon Synchro in your graveyard and summon it back. Your target for that would be Coral Dragon. You would go into a Garden Rose Maiden, then go into a Coral Dragon, then you would send Coral Dragon to the graveyard by means of Link Summoning or Synchro Summoning, and then you would Garden Rose Maiden back your Coral Dragon, so just a free material. Coral Dragon, also, if you guys don't know, when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you draw 1 card, and it has its main effect on field to discard a card and target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it, so it also has that really nice spot removal in it, which I really, really love. And then yeah, so now off the level 9 Synchros, I played 1 Cloud Castle and 1 copy of the Croco Dragon, right? So I know that a lot of people might look at this and they're like, and they might find it weird that I don't play Trishula in this deck, and you don't need Trishula anymore, because Trishula has to be made with 2 non-tuners, which is just a lot of resources to devote. If you want, you can play Trishula instead of playing the Cloud Castle, but Cloud Castle is just so strong. Like, it's like how you play through a lot of hand traps in many ways. Like, if you have any of your level 9s or any way to get a level 9 in graveyard, then Cloud Castle is just a VFD in itself. Like, you just need to be able to get to that Cloud Castle, and you can VFD your opponent no matter how many hand traps they threw at you prior. So yeah, and then Crocosaur. It draws a million cards on summon, and then you can discard 2 cards to pop card your opponent controls. So it's also an interruption in itself if you're willing to neg 2 cards. So yeah, so that's it for the synchros. I'm really happy with the lineup. I wouldn't change a thing, but if you guys would, then once again, be sure to tweak the build as you guys would like, and be sure to comment down below any changes that you made. Out of the XYZ monsters, the room was very tight, so just 1 Dulka and 1 Calamities. Calamity is the one that you're making going first, but Dulka is still a really strong option. Once again, you could play a card like Dweller, you could play a card like Lagia if you find better, but Dulka is just better in my opinion. It's 2 negations in 1. So yeah, that's how you play Dulka. Calamities, I don't really have to explain these 2. Then you play for links, for link 1s, 1 copy of Link Cross, as well as 1 copy of Link Rebo. Link Rebo you make before your combo because you can use the Link Rebo to tribute a Link Cross token, so then you can get around the whole thing of the Link Cross tokens can't be used for Link summons. So yeah, once again, Link Cross, extremely powerful card. I don't understand how this card, like, was even like printed. This card is so powerful. Link 2's 1 copy of Needle Fiber. This card is just standard. It makes every single deck that can summon a tuner so powerful. 1 copy of Barricade Board Blocker. It's just a generic Link 2 machine that also, its discard effect is pretty relevant. But yeah, it's a generic Link 2 machine which can help ladder into your Link 3 that you play. And the last Link 2 is just 1 copy of Phoenix. This card is actually relevant because once I've gotten a Beerwood, but I still had the resources on board because of a Miscellaneousaurus protecting my dinosaurs, I just linked off my dinosaurs into a Phoenix, and then linked off Phoenix into Link Cross, and then with Link Cross I was just able to full combo from there. And then and of course it has its other effect to out back row, which is the reason why you play it. And then the last card you play is of course 1 copy of Mecha Phantom Beast Aurorodon. Cards are very powerful, and I don't think anybody could have really foreseen it being played in non-Mecha Phantom Beast decks, but the fact that it just summons O-Line straight from your deck is really powerful. And in some instances, like let's say you happen to hard draw the O-Line, you can't summon from the deck, you can use Aurorodon's effect to tribute itself to actually destroy 1 card in the field, which on your turn, especially turn 0, that might seem, pretty, like irrelevant and might just seem like a neg 2. But if you destroy a card like Baby Ceratosaurus and then you summon another monster from your deck like a Giant Rex and then overlay with that card, or then link it off and then banish the Giant Rex to summon it back, like there's just so many cool things that you can do with the Aurorodon. Especially going second, using its effect to tribute itself to just destroy 1 card your opponent controls, non-targeting by the way, that's really good. And yeah, the only unfortunate thing is that it locks you out of link summoning after you use its effect to swarm with tokens, but that's just it being a fair card. But yeah guys, so that's it for the deck profile guys. Be sure to comment down below any changes that you would make. And guys, I know that this was the going first variant playing Needle Fiber, but if you guys do not want to play that variant, then if you want, be sure to comment down below and we'll be sure to get you a going second variant going. And this has been Thula from Ather Gaming, signing out. Peace.